So lately I've been jumping this bad boy, the Aon2 X2 altimeter, and I want to review it with you in this video. What's up, Skydivers? It's Catherine Bernier from Skydive Vibes, sharing the passion of skydiving and helping you become better and safer skydivers. If you're new here, well, consider subscribing and click the little bell icon to be notified whenever we post new videos all around skydiving, including skydiving gear reviews. So I've been talking about it a lot lately, and you might have seen a lot of pictures from me on Instagram wearing this Aon2 X2 altimeter while I was jumping. Well, this is a very interesting unit that I've been jumping for a dozen jumps up to now, and I really like it, in fact. So first, let's talk about what it is exactly and all the features that it has. So Aon2 or Aon2 is a company based in the United Kingdom, and they've been developing this new type of digital altimeter that has a GPS built in. This is pretty much a digital altimeter on steroids because you get a lot more data in every stage of your jump. So first, you can see it has a wide display of 2.7 inches that is very readable in sunlight. You'll notice that it's not a touch screen, and the reason is that they wanted full waterproof rating. So this device can be submerged under 1 meter of water without any problems. In order to navigate through the menus, you have those 3 external buttons here. So basically, the altimeter with all the electronics is this part here, and it's slipped into this casing right here that has the wristband. Note that the wristband here is made custom, so you need to measure your wrist or where you want to put it before ordering your X2, and it's not adjustable afterwards. So the casing is pretty robust, especially since they made a great improvement in the pins here to hold everything very strongly. And what you do is that using your device here, you simply slip it in the casing like that. It has a micro USB port here that you use to recharge it and being able to communicate with a computer for any firmware updates. It also comes with an app on Android or iOS, and this app provides you a lot more data. Talking about data, this device gives you a lot of details from your jump, like exit altitude, freefall time, and opening altitude. You can also see the detail of your trajectory on Google Maps using the app. The X2 shows you 5 different types of screens related to the different steps in your skydive. The first screen is basically the home screen where you simply see the time. Then once you're on the plane and the plane is riding up, well, you get another display. That screen gives you the ground speed, the current heading, and the distance from the landing zone. The next one is simply when you exit the plane, the altimeter will then switch into freefall mode, which will only display the altitude you're at with a color code. The fourth one is the canopy screen. So once you're under canopy, you're gonna see the altitude again with color codes, the distance and direction to the landing zone, your glide ratio, and the ground speed. The last type of screen is one that you may not have to see, but it's the wingsuit screen, which is a little bit different in freefall. It's gonna show, of course, the altitude with colors, but also the direction and distance from the drop zone and your glide ratio. In order to have the right GPS data when we're talking about direction and distance from the landing zone, well, you need to set your waypoint. It means simply that once you're in the landing area, you go on your device following this step and you set your waypoint where you stand at that moment. This way, once you're up, all the data that your altimeter will show you will be relative to that waypoint. So like I said earlier, I've been jumping this baby for the last jumps I've made, and I really like the extra data it has. So let's talk about the pros of using the Aon2 X2. First, the app is great in itself. It's easy to use and it provides you great extra features like being able to map your trajectory on Google Maps. Moreover, by exporting the log file of your jump, you'll be able to use Google Earth to visualize your jump in 3D. Like they say, their screen is very readable in sunlight. I've had no trouble in looking at my altitude in freefall. I personally like the fact that I can double verify once it's time to exit the plane that we're at the right exit point. I also love the fact that the company is very proactive. There's a Facebook group where all the X2 users are there and they can actually comment, make suggestions of improvements, and a couple of weeks later we do have a firmware update with those requested improvements. So that's really great to submit an idea and have it realized on this X2. This also brings me another thought that actually this device, once you have the hardware, all the software and the improvements inside the device are really limitless. And anytime you do a firmware updates, it's basically like you have a better improved device without actually changing the unit itself. Now let's talk about the cons of the X2. First thing is that it's a little bit bigger than a usual digital altimeter, so you gotta get used to it, and it's a bit bulky on your wrist. I found that it's not actually disturbing any of my movements in my jump. It's not a problem, but it's just a little bit more bulky on your wrist, especially if you have small wrists. The fact that the wristband is not adjustable can be a pain in itself, but I'm sure if in the future they want to make an adjustable band, it will be possible. Another point that I have is that the buttons here are a little bit hard to press. You gotta make sure that you press them very firmly in order to access the menus and stuff, but by using them more often, you get used to them. Lastly, of course, it's a GPS, so sometimes it loses the signal, and also in the plane sometimes it will lose the GPS signal, but other than that, once you're in freefall or outside, it finds back the signal pretty quickly. If not, well, you simply restart your altimeter once being outside and it should do the job. If you want one, its price is around $436 US. It's actually sold right now directly from Aon2, based in UK. And if you check down the description below, you might see a link with a discount code just for you guys. Note that since it's a new product and a new company, they are producing those in batches. So stay tuned. If they're not selling those right now, they might open the cart later on, and then you'll have access to buy your own X2. Other than that, I must say a big thank you for Aon2. Their support is stellar. I'm able to discuss with their team and they are responding back very quickly. One of my friends who is also using the X2 had a little trouble with his device and he just contacted them to have it fixed pretty quickly. So their customer service really is stellar. If you want to watch another video where I did compare the Aon2 X2 to the Dekunu one, the other altimeter with GPS data that is new on the market, well, you can watch it by clicking right beside here, and you'll also find another video from Skydive Vibes. Get yourself an X2 if it interests you, and on that, keep jumping, stay safe, and blue skies.